Hi everyone, it's Marianne with a Art Party Friday for the Crafty Mavens, and today I have decided to use some of my paint on a scrapbook page, and I use it with a mask and some stamps. So I pulled a lot of stuff from my stash actually. This background paper is really old, from Basic Gray, and I'm going to use this Jenny Bolin paint that I've had for ages. Just going to screw off the cap and see if the paint is still good. That's how long it's been since I've used it. And I'm also going to see if I can get the paint to come out of the sponge dauber top. And it does, so I'm going to use it that way. And I also had this stencil from Studio Calico from probably a few years ago. And I love anything with ampersands on it. And I remembered I had a page pinned that used this, and so I went back on my Pinterest and kind of looked to see how they used it, but I think they used it with mist or whatever, so I just knew I wanted to use paint and this mask, so basically I just put it down and dabbed the paint around it, and here I'm just kind of like fleshing it out a little bit, just going easy with the dauber so it's not so, I don't know what the word I wanted to say, so heavy on the edges. And now I had pulled this stamp from Cocoa Daisy, also a couple of years old, and I just kind of looked through my stamps and stuff, and I came across this one, and I really liked that it was like a nice big leaf, and I knew I was using green paint, so I thought that might look nice on it. Also, the page is about my daughter that's going off to college, another page about my daughter going off to college. So I just put some paint on it. I didn't bother with a, oh, you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it right now. With a, the clear acrylic block. Thank you. Yes, I could not think of it. The clear, the block to put it on. I just painted the edges and laid it on down, and it was fine. So then I put a little bit of it, repainted it, and put a little bit on this other side there to balance it out a little bit. And I think this picture is from maybe her first day of kindergarten, and so I guess that's, I don't know, 11, 12 years ago. And now she's almost all grown up. And I pulled some other papers, some green and some navy because that's the color she was wearing in the picture, and some green because I thought it was a nice print to put with the heavy green paint. So, and this actually is a fairly new piece. That green piece, I think it's from Chamel's, not her newest line, but not her first line, so the middle one, whatever that one is. And the navy and blue chevron, I don't end up using this one, not the chevron side anyway. It's also from Basic Gray, pretty old piece. It's I think it was called, I want to say peanut butter and jelly. I could be wrong though. So I try to make the chevron work, but then I see that's going to be too much pattern for me for what I want the page to look at. So, but I do like the navy side. So I'm going to, I was kind of resisting the idea for a double matte. I don't normally double matte like that anymore, but I just liked the way that looked. It looked classic and it looked right to me. So I'm going for that. And just laying it all down. And I also pulled out that sassafras alphabet that it's like brown wood with like a white gel pen outline. And I knew I wanted to write the word blinked, and I actually had all the letters to make that word. So I was pretty excited about that. So I'm definitely going to use that. And now I decide I need another piece of pattern on here. So I'm just looking through my 6x6 pads. I don't have too many 6x6 pads purposefully because it's just going to be another thing that I'll end up with a stash of. So I have a nice selection of them though. So I do find something that works, I think, from crepe paper. So I'm just going to put my title down gently. I don't know why I always resist the wax paper idea. I just do. These letters are kind of old, so I figured they really wouldn't stick too much anyway. And I did wait for my paint to dry It was pretty humid on the day I made this, so it actually dried fairly quickly. And I know I want the ampersand to stick out a little bit, so I'm going to see what it looks like if I just outline it in some black pen. And the black marker I'm using is a very skinny Sharpie. So after I outline it, I'm going to decide that it does need to be a heavier line. I wasn't quite daring enough to go for the fat side of my zig writer, but I'm thinking that was probably what I should have gone for. So I'm just going to do a fast outline, and I probably could have spent a little bit more time on this and filled in, you see those like little white spots around the edges, but I'm just kind of going for something artsy looking. And really it's been ages since I used acrylic paint like this on one of my pages with some stamps and stuff, so that felt nice to break that out of my stash. So I'm going to go look through this one, and I'm going to decide on, it's like a yellow alphabet, and this green and the yellow are also in this week's mood board. The mood board is really, really great colors in it this week. I love it so much. So the green and the yellow for sure. And I had pulled a few, I had pulled this one. I'm not sure who makes these actually. They're clear stickers. So it's like black stickers with like a clear outline on them. And my idea was I was just going to use like a swath of paint and put down the word memory. And so I decided I wanted a piece of pattern paper there. So that's what I did. I just made sure that the paint I put there is going to fit underneath the word memory and highlight it a little bit. So my title is "And I Blinked." And now she's going off to college, basically. So I'm going to also need a capital I, but that font I used is only lowercase, so I'm going to have to go looking for that. And I also pulled out some pretty old label stickers here. These ones happen to be from Crate. I want to say it was like the Restoration line, but I could be totally wrong. I'm just kind of remembering, and I ended up with 2 sheets of those, so I am going to use some of those. And now I'm looking for a capital I. So I thought maybe I would use brown because that felt right, but everything I looked at, like I'm going to use the I there, but I really wanted a capital I that wasn't just one straight line. I wanted one that had the lines at the top and the bottom, if that makes sense, like a real capital I, not just like a straight line. So in my head, I knew that's what I wanted it to look like. And so I think I'm going to decide, yeah. So I pulled out some black sticker letters, and that's what I'm going to go for. Pulled off one of those stickers from Crate paper, layered it together, stuck it on my page, and it stuck there. So I said, you know what? Yep, that looks good. Since it's stuck down there, we're going for it. And now I'm just going to glue the rest of my letters on there with my Zig glue pen because they were kind of sticking up. And once I use my Zig glue pen, then it's on there. There's no turning back after that. I'm just going to stick that sticker down. It might be Kaiser Craft. I don't remember who makes those. I think I got them in a Cocoa Daisy kit. And this sticker sheet is also from Crate Paper, one of their girl lines. Crate Paper before it was American Crafts Crate Paper. And I'm just going to layer up some label stickers over there. Kind of like the way that looked. And I just need the dot for my eye. So that's it. That's my title. And I blinked. And now I was just looking on this sticker sheet, and I liked what it said. I think it said, I wish I could go back and it was yesterday or something like that. Just a nice little sentiment. And then I used a little word that said childhood memory. So I got some stickers on there from my stash. I used some stamps from my stash. I used lots of paint. And now I felt like it's off the camera right now, but that upper corner is very stark. It's kind of off the camera. Maybe I'll pull it down a little bit. But it needs something over there. So I know from Hero Arts I have, they're kind of like artsy stamps. Like one's a paint splat. That's the one I'm going to use there. So I just put a little paint on it, but now I'm looking for a scrap of paper because I want to see what it looks like before I commit. See how stark that was? So I do. I like that. And now I'm going to put a little bit more paint on it, I think, and I'm going to put it inside the ampersand because that was looking a little stark also. So just a little bit of paint, not a lot. Maybe I go back and do that. And to finish off the page, I thought I would use some wood grain enamel dots, because what's a page without some enamel dots on it? And that's really it. Those are all my embellishments. And then I'm just going to write how I remember like it was yesterday, that little baby face. And now it's not a baby face anymore. So, not that I'm counting anything, but it's like 20 days till she leaves. But that's okay. That's what's supposed to happen. So, I hope you find some crafty time for yourself and pull out some paints or whatever makes you feel good to create something. Yeah, so I just filled in that ampersand right over there.